Hello there, and welcome to our first episode of the Phaneuf Phanboys little show we got going here. I'm Diego, and I'm joined here by Alex, of course. How are you feeling today, Alex?
I'm good, Diego. I'm excited to go. I was talking to you in the green room back there. I'm ready to go.
We got some good topics.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, we can start off just digging into a few headlines we got for today. I
think we should start, Diego.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We got to introduce ourselves. We got to introduce our credentials. Why should people?
Ooh.
Why should anybody listen to us?
Well, we got some totally unbiased hockey talk coming.
Totally unbiased hockey
totally
takes.
Unbiased. A Chicago fan and a Leafs fan. Come on, you can't get more unbiased than these two fan bases.
As for my broadcasting career so far includes a little YouTube channel I ran at 10 years old. I went to the Hockey Hall of Fame a few times.
I was there for one of those. We recreated the Sidney Crosby's glove commercial.
Of course.
I still have that. When you're looking at Sidney Crosby's gloves,
you are looking at Sidney
Crosby's gloves.
And, of course, probably most famously, my incredible hockey takes at the lunch table during I miss lunch so much.
We
used to gather the gang.
Write that down, people. We miss lunch.
We miss lunch. All right, Diego?
We ready to get into it?
We're ready to get into it. Let's talk some headlines.
So before we get into our main topics today, I'll just talk about a few things that have been happening around the NHL as of late. First of which, Artemi Panarin is taking a leave of absence from the New York Rangers after a story has come out from Russia of him potentially having a discourse, we'll say, with a younger female.
So, I don't want to overstep anything because I feel like kind of caught between a rock and a hard place right here if we talk about this because, if you take Panarin's side, you are, for one, pissing off the dictator, the democratically elected leader of Russia.
Yes. Hopefully he's not watching.
As well as denying an assault allegation against a woman. That's not good.
No, that's not good. And well, Jax is in the chat. Free Panarin. He is too hot to be a criminal. Thank you for your input, Jack. We respect that.
Panarin's small. I'm fairly sure any Baltic lady could probably take him since he saw happen. He's a beauty, but he's not very large. So
he is the bread man.
He's the bread man.
And I don't think the bread man would do so. Well, the Rangers and Panarin himself have made it clear that their stance,
and all of his teammates that were with him that night as well have also come out to say that the story's fabricated. That hasn't happened.
Completely fabricated. So we'll see where this goes. But of course, this is a huge hit to the Rangers, who are already struggling this year. Lafreniere has not been a lot of help.
It's Laffy's time now.
And Laffy and Zibanejad needs to pick it up.
And Zibanejad, make that a line. I can see that just becoming a total force. Possibly in Panarin's absence, combined for maybe 3 or 4 points.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. Yeah. Maybe he can take. Maybe he can get a third rookie point. We'll see. We'll see if Lafreniere.
Lafreniere is a second point.
He got a second point.
No way.
He got a second goal.
That's great.
He tied Kevin Lankin in points.
Oh, Kevin Lankin
had 2 assists.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into rookies later on. Okay. We got some people saying Rangers suck. Jax is NHL's worst line. And Ferris
NHL's worst line, yeah.
Kadri is King Daddy. Well, we're not talking about Kadri today. But speaking of the Colorado Avalanche...
We could talk about Kadri today because...
We could later on.
That'll come up later, actually.
But speaking of the Colorado Avalanche, in their outdoor game versus the Vegas Golden Knights on Saturday, I believe it was, we had a record-breaking, I believe, 9-hour intermission after the first period because the NHL was not very smart, did not account for the fact that ice can melt.
There might be sun outside in the daytime.
Just maybe. We wonder why our sport is so poorly marketed.
I didn't get to watch a game, unfortunately. Apparently at nighttime it was sick.
I watched
I think my biggest gripe with the whole thing, other than those god-awful Vegas jerseys, my biggest gripe is the fact that they were playing next to a lake. next to
Not
a frozen
on a
over lake.
They were playing next to the lake.
You have money. This league, they lost a lot of money. You have enough money to put on a show on a lake. And they put on the show next to a lake.
Lizzie's upset that I referred to her comment as some people, so I will give her the proper shout out. Lizzie said Rangers suck.
Of course.
Just so everyone can know.
Rangers suck. Alright, and one more highlight.
One more highlight, okay.
Quick headline, I mean.
You got one? Alright, go for it.
Of course, yeah. King Henrik taking the ice.
Oh, yes, of course.
For the first time since his heart surgery. I forget what the surgery was for, but it was bad. It could have been a career ender. Very, very glad to see the King back.
It's very nice to see him back on the ice. I don't think he plays again this year.
Probably not.
Hey, if the Capitals make some kind of playoff run here, maybe there's potential he comes back late. And I would love to see Lundqvist win a cup. I'm not a Capitals fan, but seeing Lundqvist win a cup, definitely deserving there.
I don't think he'll do it with the Capitals on account of there's probably some team in the North Division going to do it this year. But it's great to see him back on the ice.
Of course.
I'd love to see Henrik Lundqvist and Craig Anderson run the oldest goalie tandem in the league.
Yeah, that is true. But Craig Anderson does have his work cut out for him with Vitek Vanacek. Is that how you pronounce his name? Vitek, sorry. He's been playing pretty well. This year. And maybe Samsonov will play another game. We're not sure.
If he stops being dead from COVID.
But speaking of goaltenders, let's jump into our first topic.
The first topic ever on the show. All of our viewers.
We've seen some really good goaltending this year. And maybe from some places that we may have not expected it from. And the biggest highlight from goaltending this year, undoubtedly Marc-Andre Fleury with the Vegas Golden Knights. Lehaner just signed the big contract. Everyone expected him to step in and be the man. He was a little shaky at first, and now he's been injured for a bit. But Marc-Andre Fleury stepped in and filled that role. He's played 11 games this year. He's 8-3-0 with a .942 save percentage and a 1.55 goals against average.
That's insane. Vegas is really good.
Unfortunately, so that's going to overshadow his numbers, and some scrubs like Kevin Lankin or something are going to get more credit than they deserve. But Marc-Andre Fleury we'll discuss about that later.
Is still on the top of his game, and I guess the thing that disappoints me most of all is how bad Lehaner's been, though, even before the injury. Because I do have him on both of my fantasy teams.
The one thing I don't get with Robin Lehaner is how did you play better with that Chicago team in front of you than you're playing with that Vegas team in front of you, right? So this has to be just something with the way the coaching staff is managing him, or I don't know, maybe it's just his comfortability. Because in Chicago, I believe he's hometown there, or he grew up there.
I thought he was from Sweden or some shit.
Or I knew he has some history with Chicago. That he wanted to stay in Chicago, actually, with Stan Bowman said, get out of here. But that's another topic.
We need to play Malcolm Subban and Colin Delia next year. There's no room.
It's shocking that how, I don't want to say poor, because he still was doing decent, but he was not quite meeting expectations.
Let's pull up some numbers about
for Robin
Lehaner.
All right, go ahead. I don't have numbers on me right now, so
5 games this year, and he won 3 of them.
He did, but if I remember, he gave up some poor ones.
I do remember he lost. I think it was 3-1-1. He lost one in the shootout to St. Louis.
Okay, well, if we get a shootout against Lehaner, the game's over.
It's true.
I love the guy, but cannot stop.
Yeah, it was terrible. I watched it. It was not good. 890 save percentage.
Oh,
that's great if you're doing a math test, but if you're supposed to be a number 1 NHL goalie with...
But if you're Carey Price or Robin Lehaner, probably not the best look.
Yeah, Carey Price.
Sorry, Jack in the chat there. I had to call out Carey Price.
No, Jack hates Carey Price. We know that.
Hey, he makes the stellar save, but then gives up 4 more goals.
Yeah.
So.
And a 296 goals against, so just under 3, which is a comparable goals against average to Michael Hutchinson.
So is this where we're going to bring the talk now?
No.
I've
not been the biggest fan of Hutch in my life.
Neither have
I don't like when he plays. I think the Leafs play differently in front of him, and I think that was probably part of the reason they lost in Calgary last night.
We'll talk about that game. We'll talk about that game in a minute.
We can talk about that game in a minute.
But so obviously Fleury's been a huge help for Vegas' outstanding start this year. As you said, they have a great team. So obviously
first
Fleury's
place, right?
I think the Leafs might still have a point lead on them, but they've played.
Yeah, they do.
They've played more games though, I believe.
4.
Yeah.
But they're first in their division because I don't know if I really count the league this year.
That's fair. But
it's Toronto, Florida, Carolina, Boston, Edmonton, and Vegas is at 7.
Well, the next goalie that I have to talk about here is none other than Mackenzie Blackwood of the New Jersey Devils.
Mac Black. I love that guy.
He also hasn't played the most games because the Devils had a lot of work with the COVID protocol. And I think he was the first one to get put on it before they actually started postponing their games. But in the few appearances Blackwood's had this year, Blackwood has been incredible and has been a huge part of probably the shocking start to the Devils season. Because I don't think a lot of people saw them doing as well as they have.
It's been a huge part of my fantasy success as well.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this. Ever since he got rid of that goals against average category, picking Mackenzie Blackwood, that was a no-brainer.
Oh, even goals against average, he's pretty good. Saves. He's played 6 games.
Got a great save percentage.
He's 4-1-1 with a .938 save percentage and a 2.12 goals against average.
Great.
Those are some really good freaking stats, especially from a young goaltender in Mackenzie Blackwood. This New Jersey team is actually starting to show up, which is, I've been looking at their decor. The decor is actually pretty good. And with him stopping shots back there, they just need that offense to keep up. Jack Hughes has been great this year. You can definitely bring them somewhere.
Nico Hischier's the C now?
I really
see that coming.
I didn't see it coming
at all,
but I like the decision. A lot of people are saying Hischier should not be the captain of this team, but I disagree. I think
probably myself included. I don't think Jersey needs a captain. Well, I don't know.
I don't think they need a captain now, but I think Hischier's the right choice.
The right pick. Jersey success. Also,
he's been there for a few years there, and he has been a player who might not be putting up all the points, but he's come to play every night.
That's true.
And
I hear a lot of great things about him. And then I turn on a Devils game, and I'm like, which one is Hischier? But I've heard a lot of good stuff about him. I turn on a Devils game.
We'll see how he goes this year.
But, yeah.
Well, especially in that East Division, they could definitely make a push for the 4th spot in New Jersey.
Exactly.
Or even the 3rd, because Washington's been
3, I'm pretty sure it's wide open.
Yeah, because, what do they have? Well, actually, I think it's pretty wide open across there. I think you have Boston cemented as 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything underneath is kind of wide open between Islanders, Penguins,
that
Capitals.
Season postponement came in so clutch Devils. For the Bruins. They would have been reeling right about it. They didn't have the time to get Marchand and Pasternak back.
Yeah,
so once again, the NHL rigs everything in the favor of the Bruins, predictably.
Which is completely unbiased from our favorite Leafs fan, Alex here. Completely unbiased. But
it's just painful to see them succeed.
Yeah, but they've been good this year. Well, you got any goalies you want to bring up before I go into my last one? My last one's a bit of a transition.
I actually love to bring up Chris Driedger. This guy is a certified beauty, and I think he's the reason that Florida is 12-3-2 right now.
Florida has been a shock this year. I don't think anyone expected this. Really?
Honestly, I think every year since they got that kind of core going with the Barkov and Huberdeau, everybody's been like, it's Florida time, and it's never been Florida time. But
it's just never happened. That's the thing. So I didn't expect it to happen now of all times. Well,
I think...
Okay, as David will enjoy me saying right now, the Huber show has been on fire.
The Huber show...
He's been getting points, man.
I think he's got the second most points by a player on an American team.
How come he hasn't been in the Hart conversations we've seen this early?
Because he doesn't play in Canada, and they just don't play enough games.
That is true. He does not play in Canada. He is not on the Maple Leafs, therefore he does not get to be put in the Hart conversation.
Listen, I think my Hart Trophy winner is basically set in stone at this point. But
Michael Hutchinson.
Anyway, Chris Driedger, the Quebec League Rocket, broke onto the scene last year. He's won 4 straight games, and he's got 7 wins in 9. So that's 7 of the Panthers' 12 in 9 games.
Wow. How many of the Panthers lost?
They have lost 5 games in total, 3 in regulation, 2 in overtime.
I'm pretty sure 2 of those regulation losses are to Detroit, which is really funny, honestly.
Yes, especially because they are like second in the league. But then again, Toronto has 2 losses to Ottawa, who are first in the league.
This is true.
So it's just...
Okay, go back to your Drieger praise.
Drieger's got a 929. I'm going to round up to 930 because, we like to round.
We got a rounder in this.
Come on,
Yeah, I get it.
It's a 930 save percentage.
Okay.
Basically. And listen to these last 3 because that one against Tampa was a bit ugly, but they got it out of W. 914, 32 saves against Carolina, 30 saves against, albeit Detroit, 938. And then Florida's defense putting together a solid game, albeit against Dallas.
They got good guys back there. Oh, against Dallas last night. Yeah. Okay, but... Okay.
1 goal against on 24 shots for
another situation in that Dallas game, though. I'm pretty sure Florida had a 29-shot second period in that game.
Yes. That's
an insane stat.
Dallas took it pretty hard yesterday, to put it bluntly. 52 shots to 25. Panthers outshot them 29-4 in the second.
I'm pretty sure I was reading
even
today.
In the other 2.
Dallas hasn't won a game since February 2nd.
It's my dad and brother's birthday.
Wow.
And the present was a Stars losing streak, I guess.
Okay, well. Transitioning into my last goalie, and I sure do wonder who this is, as me being a Hawks fan would select. Of course, we're going to talk about Kevin Lankin. The Finnish rookie out of nowhere came in and maybe are giving the Hawks a breath of hope this season at maybe getting that 4th spot in the Central.
The thing is, he really isn't even the best rookie goaltender this year.
Okay, well, before we argue that, let me just read off Lankin's stat table here. Lankin's played 13 games. He's 7-3-3 with a .927 save percentage and a 2.42 goals against average. He plays tonight against Columbus.
My mystery goalie from the San Jose Sharks.
Oh,
Alexey Melnichuck.
But he's played like 1 game. Come on.
A 1.000 save percentage and a not even on the board goals against average. That's how incredible he's been.
Who did he play against? Do you know? In his game?
I will look that up right now.
Okay,
Let's see.
I'm waiting for that. I need to know. I need to know this before we LA, and I
stepped in for 9 minutes and 11 seconds against the Los Angeles Kings.
Ooh,
posted 5 saves on 5 shots.
Okay, those were a big 5 saves. I'm guessing.
Those were a big. Game. Well, let's take a look at how that game ended. You can continue talking. I'm gonna.
But okay, fine. But Lankin's definitely been huge for the Hawks this year. He has. On top of some older guys in front of him on that decor, he also has a lot of young and experienced guys. You got Adam Boquist, Ian Mitchell, Nicholas Beaudin, or Nikolai, I think. I don't know his first name. You have Beaudin in front of him. You got a lot of unexperienced. True, probably. You have a lot of inexperienced defenders in front of him there, and he's been facing upwards of 30, 35 shots a night. So it's been pretty incredible what he's been able to do. Yes, he's played against Detroit a couple times, so that definitely stacks his stats, but he's looked calm and
pads his stats.
What? Fine, whatever.
It's stats. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Keep going.
But he's looked really calm in the Chicago Nets. Of course, I've been watching those games, as painful as they can be at times. Throwback to that time where
they're in a playoff spot.
We are in a playoff spot, which is very exciting. It's a lot better than I expected us to do this year. But Lankin's definitely been a huge
Dallas
part.
Also
he makes the big save. He makes the big save when we need him to, and that is what matters.
So does Hutch. You saw that kick save last night. Probably not.
I was at work.
I think it was like 10 seconds into the game or something. I was.
And then he proceeded to give up 3.
Yeah, that was a rough one. I digress.
So are you good on goaltending for now?
I actually do have a little update about Alexey Melnichuck.
Okay, go off.
It was a warm, balmy February 11th when he stepped in the final 9 minutes of a 6-2 loss at the hands of the Kings. So he was cool under pressure. His team needed him to not let in any more
goals. He prevented the Kings from getting a 7.
He didn't. He did what he was paid, probably about
not a lot to do.
$5.50 to do.
Yeah. All right. So you satisfied with your goaltending there?
I am satisfied. We've talked about goalies.
So speaking of my last goaltender, Kevin Lankin, big rookie goaltender, and what better way to transition into some great rookies we have seen in the league this year?
Great rookies.
Since I am already talking about Chicago, I feel like it would just be wrong of me to not bring up Pius Suter and Philip Kurichev, who have slid into this roster for the Blackhawks here with some key injuries there with Taze and Doc, of course, and they've carried on the load that they've needed to. Of course, it probably helps Suter. He's playing with Patrick Kane, but he's scored 6 goals this year. He has 4 assists and has 10 points. He was the leading leader in rookie points until someone decided to pop off as of recent, but we'll talk about him later.
Of course.
I know you're waiting for it, Alex.
Oh yeah.
And Philip Kurichev has 5 goals, 4 assists, and 9 points, which is pretty good stat lines for these rookies who were generally unknown before the season started. And
Kurichev,
believe
it or not, I did know about before the season. I've seen him play for the Swiss junior team, I think it was.
Ooh, oh yeah, because he was at the juniors, yeah.
Was it this juniors or the year before?
I'm not sure, but I know he was definitely at least one of those.
A Swiss team that gave Canada trouble or a Swiss team that was told to roll over and they arched.
Either way, I don't think he did much. But
yeah.
But he's been making an impact at the NHL level right now. And once again, Chicago throwing some kind of random season together where we're somehow in a playoff spot. These two have definitely been a big boost to that. But there has been a rookie that has been a bit more productive than that, and I think you want to bring him up, Alex.
I would love to talk about Karil Kappazov, the guy with maybe the 3rd best headshot from this year. That guy's hair is all over the place. He's got 11 points.
It's no Brendan Tanev, but it's pretty good.
For Karil, he's not the thrill because we have ourselves Phil.
We do.
But Karil,
I have his stat line if you don't have it.
I do. He's got 13 and 15, 4 goals, 9 points. He's a +6 on the
9
Wild.
9 assists, not 9 points, just to clarify.
9 assists, sorry. 4 goals, 9 assists, 13 points. He's only taken 2 penalty minutes, which means Lady Bing up for grabs this year.
Ooh, up there.
He's probably going to be our runaway rookie of the year. Pius Suter.
I'm just saying, Kevin Lankin does exist.
Or Kevin Lankin, yes, I didn't.
It'll be between Lankin and Kappazov. I do believe that, but we'll see.
Unless Chicago decides they suck. Actually,
unless Pius Suter decides that he can win a face-off.
Yes,
that would be pretty.
I don't watch Chicago. That's probably hilarious, though, right?
I'm pretty sure we had a game recently. I think it was our game against Detroit, where him and Strome in the 3rd period had a combined... Not in the 3rd period alone. I was watching the 3rd period when the broadcaster said the stat.
Yeah.
Him and Dylan Strome had a combined 1 face-off win that game. Dylan Strome's out with concussion now, so we don't need to worry about him taking jobs. Wow,
that's a shame. Dylan Strome,
we got to the point we were throwing David Kampf out there to take the draw, and then he'd right away go to the bench for a change.
You know what? As someone who is not a center... But as someone whose team, now minor hockey team, his actual professional NHL team,
yes,
that has John Tavares,
the professional house league
on it.
Oh,
the Leafs.
We
have John Tavares. He's almost 60%, and they're like, we need Jason
can he score a point
for seconds?
But can Tavares score a point?
Maybe.
Pius Suter has him in that category.
Pius Suter has been. Does Pius Suter have him in that category?
I don't know. I don't know how many points Tavares has, but I just know Tavares has kind of been not meeting expectations. I'm fairly sure he's in the
league leader column still, and the fact, he's 30th in points, 17, so he does have Pius Suter beat there.
Fine, he does have Pius Suter beat.
Sorry.
For now. Hey, 7.9 tonight. I'm just saying.
It could be, but then again, it could also be John Tavares maybe deciding to be good one time.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, I don't know if Jack is still watching, but Jack would kill me if I did not bring up the Magic Man himself.
Kasperi Kakniemi or whatever, right? Or no?
Tim Stützle.
Tim Stützle, the German.
He's got 5 goals, 4 assists, and 9 points this year, playing on a not great Ottawa team. So I'd say the stat line is probably a little more impressive.
Ottawa is sick. 47 goals for.
Well, right as of recent, he's found some chemistry with Drake Batherson there. So maybe that point total will start.
I'm very glad that Drake Batherson is playing. I watched him in One World Junior, and I think he gets an assist on the gold medal winning goal. He's got a special place in my heart forever now. So wherever he goes, I will follow him, and I'd love to see him succeed.
So you're cheering for the Senators to win the Battle of Ontario is what I'm hearing.
Possibly. It depends. Ottawa is in the bottom half of goals for, but it's a lot better than, like other places. Like New Jersey.
But the thing with Stützle is he's shown some very dynamic play so far this year, which is why I'm shocked DJ Smith hasn't given him the opportunity to play with a Dadonov or a Tkachuk. Stützle's been stuck. He's been stuck with playing with Tierney, Batherson, or like Colin White. I think he deserves a better opportunity.
I think he deserves a shot with Josh Norris, who, by the way, is
he has played with Norris. He has played with Norris a bit this year. I will.
Okay, good. Josh Norris is second. I hear his name all the time on the broadcast when the Sens end up dogging the Leafs because they're so great. And, I'm like, who the hell is Josh Norris? Why is this guy all over the place?
He played like 9 games last year.
He's a rookie still, and...
Is he still a rookie? I think
he's still a rookie.
Oh, he is.
That's a guy who's taking number 2 spot away from your boy P.S. Suter. I don't know. Give Stützle a chance. I don't think he needs to play with those old guys, though. Because I don't really...
I would love...
When I watch him play...
Yeah?
Dadonov is... He's not exactly a passer.
He's not? But
he's not. He's a shooter.
But he's
and
got that
I don't
shot.
see Stützle as a passer either. I think that guy's a goal scorer.
Well,
I don't see him just with his head up looking to set people up.
I don't know. He's made some nice passes this year.
Of course, as everybody does.
Well, as everyone expects from the best German player in the NHL.
Austin Matthews,
Leon Draisaitl,
great passer. Leon Draisaitl.
About Austin Matthews, we'll talk about him later.
Of course. So, can't keep
okay, I have one more rookie on my radar.
You got another rookie?
We're gonna make our return to the New Jersey Devils. Where we're gonna talk about Ty Smith.
PK
defenseman,
Subban's
2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points. A defenseman on the Devils.
Career points for the Devils than PK
That's a solid line. Yeah, you're right. That is more career points than Subban, literally. But you know what? First year in the league, playing on the freaking Devils of all teams, and you show up in the league with the 8 points, and I think Devils have only played like.
He's cooled off games since the COVID break for the Devils.
Yeah, since they've come back from COVID, I don't think he has a point.
I think that ruined it for him, to be honest, because he was.
Yes, but I have to talk about Ty Smith. He carried
everybody on the Devils died.
Yeah, like literally, they were all gone. I think he'll get a return. You know what? I'm saying it now. Ty Smith scores a goal tonight against the Sabres.
For real.
I'm saying.
It's not like that's.
Maybe one of our 3 viewers will clip me saying this and make fun of me tomorrow. But I'm saying it. Ty Smith scores a goal tonight.
That half of if you name 4 random guys, they don't even have to be on the team that's playing against the Sabres that night. They'll probably score on the Sabres.
Okay.
Sabres are ass. Sabres are so bad. It's kind of like a Florida thing with the Sabres, except it's worse because there was
they have
only potential and no promise.
Yeah, on paper they have actually a really good roster. Well, not anymore because all their defensemen decided to die over the past week.
Yes.
But they
Rasmus Ristolainen, did you hear his? He said he was
his COVID story.
On the brink of death from COVID. And
yeah, and he's 26 years old.
26? He's a super athlete?
Yeah. And that just tells you how scary this stuff is.
He's a super athlete. He's not a super athlete.
Well, he's physically fit is the point.
He's physically fit. He's more than physically fit.
And that just tells you how scary things are with COVID. So, yeah, let's give a shout out to being safe. Woo.
Yep.
Be safe, people.
Let's
stay home.
And
Don't go to that MSG Rangers game, even though they're allowing fans back. Please, if you're in New York, do not leave your house.
Fans back in New York?
Yeah.
That is the last place I thought they'd be bringing fans back.
I know. All the states teams will open. All the states teams are going to open eventually. Come on.
Yeah.
All of them.
It'd be a shame if the playoffs are going to be by the summer, and by the summer the weather gets warm, the virus calms down. I would love to see a few fans in the Canadian arenas by then.
That's not going to happen.
I'm sorry.
I know there's no way
that our government hates anything surrounding opening anything up.
Yeah.
But I would love to see fans in the stands because I think an all-Canadian division, this is a total missed opportunity.
Yeah,
with regards to ticket
budget-wise,
sales.
they could make so much.
That you gotta. Well, I don't feel for the billionaires that own the teams, but it's like you gotta feel for the
league
players.
Could use the money because the league doesn't know how to freaking market, so it's not like they're making that much money anyway. So, well, of course they're making.
You've said this now twice. I'd like to hear some gripes real quick with the NHL's marketing. If you have anything that you'd like.
Okay. Take a bottom 15 team and tell me their star player.
Okay. We've got. Hold on.
A bottom 15.
Let's sort the league by points real quick. Let's go pretty far up. Minnesota.
Okay, tell me who their star player is. Who's
I would say it's Karil Kappazov right now.
If I stop 5 people on the street, will they know who Karil Kappazov is? Exactly. There's my point.
I think you could honestly do that within the top 10.
Yeah, probably.
St. Louis there.
I could stop people and ask who's Ryan O'Reilly. They won't know.
Yeah.
No, like if you're in Canada, there's a chance. But maybe. States, oh god, even Canada, it's like I don't even know.
I don't know if we were running in a more hockey crazy city than Mississauga.
Yeah, that's true.
If you went to the heart of downtown Toronto around Leaf game time and if I asked anyone who's Columbus' best player, they'd be like,
Laine?
I'd say Laine, but Jack Rossovic's on a tear right now.
Yeah.
And then you get into the discussion about who the real
but you need to do that under specific circumstances. That's the issue. You need the circumstances to be in your favor. And that's very unlike other sports such as the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Well, granted, NHL's never going to reach the NBA in terms of popularity.
No. Well, they could. You know what they need for sure to start is a better TV deal. Which
we could see coming in this next year.
I heard about that.
The problem with that though is that NHL is primed to make so much money off of that because it was going to be a bidding war between ESPN and NBC, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there are reports saying NBC's been telling NHL that they kind of want to move away from sports. So now it's going to be less of a bidding war, and more so ESPN saying, "We're going to give you this. Do you take it?"
Yeah, that's rough.
But we'll see.
ESPN is better than NBC at the very least.
That's fair.
That's going to be more coverage than dirty NBCSN.
I'm just interested to see what happens to all the guys from NBC. I need to know what's happened to Eddie O and Pat Foley.
Didn't Eddie O step away from broadcasting? No. He's been going. I know Doc did.
Doc did. It was Doc. Eddie's still going. He did the outdoor
Jeremy Roenick.
That's a okay. Before let's not get into those stories.
Okay, we're not move right now.
Let's move
a little more credibility.
To our final topic. Let's move into our final topic of the day.
Our last topic.
We can easily spend probably hours on, but we're gonna take a look at the North Division.
Yes.
And we're gonna talk about who do we think is gonna win this division. How we're going to lay this out, first of all, is I didn't talk about this much to you beforehand. We'll just go over it at first, talk about all the teams. And we'll say who we think wins it in the regular season, as well as who else makes the playoffs, and who do we think wins this division in the playoffs.
Okay.
But first, let's just go with our overview. As of right now, I'm going to read out the whole standings, including points, so get ready for earful.
Okay.
In first, we have Toronto with 20 games played. They're 14-4-2 with 30 points. By the way, I'm basing this off points, not point percentage. Sorry.
Point percentage sucks. Just play more game.
Exactly. We have in second place. We have Edmonton, 20 games played, 12-8-0 with 24 points.
Not a whole lot changes with point percentage anymore.
Yeah. Third is Winnipeg, 18 games played, 11-6-1 with 23 points. Then we have Montreal in fourth, 17 games played, 9-5-3 with 21 points. Calgary's in fifth, 19 games played, 9-9-1, 19 points after they got 2 points last night after shutting out the Leafs.
Yeah, it was a rough game.
Sixth, we have Vancouver, who have played an outstanding 22 games.
Oh, yeah. They're leading the league there.
8-12-2 with 18
That's great
points.
for the Canucks.
They're leading the league somewhere.
It's something to look forward to.
And in last place, seventh, we have Ottawa with 20 games played, 5-14-1 with 11 points.
They are slowly creeping up on Detroit.
Well, first of all, you got
just 2 points off.
What shocked you the most from this division so far this year?
What shocked me the most from this division, I will tell you right now, is how bad Vancouver is. I saw them in... I know a lot of Vancouver fans were thinking after that great season that they had, and they, in the bubble, went to the second round. Thatcher Demko carries them to Game 7 against Vegas, and everyone's like, all the Canucks fans are like, lock Benning in the basement. Don't let him touch anything in free agency. And so that's what he does, and everybody leaves for Calgary.
Okay, but Benning didn't touch anything in free agency, but like he literally did not do anything in free agency, and Benning has ruined this team from what it was.
Yeah.
Wasn't there an open report saying Toffoli wanted to come back to the Canucks, but Benning...
didn't answer his phone. I guess he was on vacation. No
Toffoli said you had to do it soon, and Benning said, I can take another week. And then the next week he signed with the Habs.
Nice.
There's some offensive depth. That's gone. You let Chris Tanev walk, who's a big guy on the back end. I know Troy Stecher had a bit of a good run at the end there for the Canucks.
Where did that guy go? Like Detroit? Yeah.
Philip Kurichev danced around him for a goal. That's why I know. But but yeah, you lose him. You lose arguably one of the best goaltenders in the league right now, Jacob Markstrom. And you bring in Braden Holtby, who Holtby has definitely showed promise in his years, but he's been on the decline.
Yep. I think that cup win is the pinnacle. After that,
I don't think he's ever going to get as good. I don't.
It's kind of like just going to work. He throws his feet up. He clocks in. He's like, you know.
And Thatcher Demko, don't get me wrong. Thatcher Demko's stats are deceiving because he has been good this year, but the defense isn't good enough in front of him.
They suck balls, yeah.
And the offense isn't deep enough. The offense isn't deep enough to win a scoring battle.
Was it 2 games or 1 game he played against Toronto? Because that's one of the few
because they played 3 straight, so he probably played 2. I believe he played 2.
Yeah.
He got lit up once, and I think
know
he
it was
kept
Hope he won. Yeah.
But that's just how it's been with Vancouver. But I think another slight shock to people. I didn't expect Calgary to do well this year, but I know a lot of people who did expect Calgary to be in the top 4. That's just because I don't like Calgary.
I think they'll end in the top 4.
Oh, wow. Okay, we'll discuss that. We'll discuss that in a minute.
Okay.
But I don't know what the hell Ward's doing as the coach of this team. I also don't like their offense. Once again, this might just be personal bias. I think they have a solid defense, and I think Jacob Markstrom in net is definitely a help to where they definitely can win games by a 2-1, 1-0 score. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I just think Matthew Tkachuk can't do it all, and Johnny Gaudreau hasn't done anything for 4 years. So
Gaudreau is having a comeback Johnny Hockey special season. He's leading the team in points, and I think goals too.
Is he? Okay, maybe I'm an idiot then.
Kachuk sucks.
Okay,
my grandfather has a theory that he's pulling a Dubois right now to try and go to Ottawa with his little brother.
Really? You think he wants out?
I don't think that whatsoever, but that's just a theory that I've heard.
You're going to hate me for saying this. I don't want this to happen either. Old man. But I think when Giordano eventually gets out, I think Kachuk's the captain of this team.
Really?
Yeah. I think Kachuk's the captain of this team.
Well, then he's untouchable, and then you got to send Johnny T after him every time.
Oh, I think Gaudreau's leaving in free agency. I think Gaudreau wants out.
Really? But who takes Gaudreau? Especially if he puts up a good season. That'd actually be interesting to see what the Canadian values are.
Oh, wait, come on.
for the free agents.
He's getting to his higher 20s, and he's had his superstar years, and he's going to free agency. He's going to Nashville.
He's going to Nashville. And he's a guy who can maybe score, but when he doesn't score, he's cold.
Ryan Johansson, Mikael Granlund, Matt Duchene, Eric Haula even. These guys put up good numbers, went to Nashville, nothing.
Yep. Nashville's terrible.
Nashville is where you go to die.
We can talk about them next week, too, because these guys...
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, you're hearing it here first. We get to rave about how bad Nashville is next time.
Next week.
And I am looking forward to that because I hate Nashville. I'm a Chicago fan.
I am not well-versed. The only time I really check up on Nashville, other than when they play the Leafs twice a season and lose...
Yeah.
Because this was one of the few teams that I would go into as a Leaf fan and be like, we're going to win tonight. For sure. Because Nashville could not beat Toronto.
Okay, well, before we get...
Especially at home.
Yeah, before we get too off topic there, let's go into... I'll read mine first, because I don't think you'd have it ready. How we think this division is going to end.
Oh, I have it ready.
You have it ready? Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, you go first.
I would love to go first. So I think... What are we counting up from 7, or...?
Up to you. You can go from 7 to 1 or 1 to 7.
I'm going 7 to 1 here, because I do want to build some surprise.
Okay, let's do one at a time then. You do your 7, I do my 7, 6, and 6.
Okay.
So who do you have last?
Last place, it's Ottawa.
Yeah, I have Ottawa too.
They're gonna put up a fight, but they're
it's not for a lack of effort. It's not for a lack of effort. It is the roster's just not there.
Number 6, who is for a lack of effort and bad, Vancouver.
For my number 6, who I also have for a lack of effort, but it's not Vancouver, I have Calgary at number 6. I don't think they turn things around. They seem reluctant to fire Ward. Ward has not done them any favors, and their players just aren't putting. They aren't putting in effort most games.
Tkachuk has to get it going. Once Tkachuk gets it going, then
that's fair.
It'll be a different story.
That's fair, but I don't think they're putting in a lot of effort in most of the games, and when they do, they just are unlucky. Look at the Edmonton game. I believe they were out shooting Edmonton for most of that game. They lost 7-1.
But the luck is turning. The luck is turning.
I wouldn't call one victory against...
They got the gift of playing Hutch.
That's going to be the last shutout David Rittich gets in his career.
All night.
It's going to be the last shutout David Rittich gets in his career.
You think he's done after this year, or is he just never going to get a shutout again?
I think he's just bad.
He plays another long 10 years in this league, not one single shutout to his name after that.
Yeah, I did not watch that game, but I'm not convinced that David Rittich is good still.
I got to watch the last bit of the third because I was at work, and it was rough. Rittich, it wasn't... I wouldn't say the Leafs made it terribly hard on him. They took a lot of shots, but they either
from bad angles. Yeah.
Bad angles, or
and that's the thing that this Calgary defense can do to you, though, because they got some big guys back there.
They do have.
Let's go into your 5.
Number 5, Montreal. I think they're gonna miss.
Wow, that's a controversial take.
That game against Toronto didn't look encouraging to me. The fact that they've still got to play the Sens like 4 more times and they can't play the Sens.
They can't beat the Sens.
Is scary. I know. I'm a Toronto fan. They don't play the Sens very well. But why I'm not scared of that is because they can make up points against Vancouver, against Montreal, against
and they already have a comfortable
Edmonton
lead.
every so. Yeah.
At least already have a comfortable lead, so...
Yeah. They've done well enough early. Montreal, they had a bit of... I think it was a week off, and they blew it, they blew it, and they just keep blowing it. And then they almost had Toronto do the thing again. They score... Toronto scores 2 goals, 20 seconds. Montreal comes back down.
Like 2 and 15.
And they score 2 of their own in 15.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'm sitting there at my cousin's computer. I'm like, oh, shit, there's no way they do it again. There's no way they do it again. Right before we go leave.
You want to finish your Habs?
Yeah, I do.
Finish
Mitch Marner scores the goal. And I was like, we got to win now. It's a Marner goal. It's not like that happens every day.
Yeah.
So, and then the goal was disallowed. They just didn't really have it from that point after.
Okay. Well, my 5 is Vancouver. I think Vancouver will climb back to that 5th position and just miss. And I think that's because Pettersson is seeming to find his footing again. Besser's
finally.
been good. Yeah, finally.
7-9 for...
So long, man.
I can't do math really well. I think it's 16 points. Mental math.
7-9, yeah, it's 16.
Yeah, 16. Okay.
But Pettersson's finally back. And I think he'll provide enough offense, and I think Demko is good enough to win them enough games to place above Calgary and Ottawa.
I guess, but I'm banking on Vancouver with their sad puppy dog. After every time they get scored on, woe is me. We got scored on.
All right, you can go to your 4.
Okay. My number 4 is going to be the Oilers. They're on a tear right now, but they're not that good. It's Connor and Leon are great, and then all of a sudden you're getting scoring from friggin' Josh Archibald. I'm sorry, I didn't want to ruin the algorithm there. I was so close to getting us child.
A bad word. Something. Whoa, children, we are safe. Watch our videos.
Safe.
We are safe.
Watch our videos. We are safe.
Real Maybe safe. My mic is falling apart now. Look at this. It's all going downhill. Okay, yeah, go on.
But once Josh Archibald decides that he's not the Rocket Richard favorite, then they can chill out. They'll still win more than the other 3. They'll squeak into the playoffs. And yeah, they set up 4.
Okay, that's fair. My 4 is Montreal. Okay. Yes, I know they're falling off of it right now. I think their offense is good enough to win them enough games to get into the playoffs. And Carey Price has been a slow starter. So I don't think there's much worry about Carey Price. I think Carey Price will get back to his game. And I think Montreal we know they have the defense, let's be honest.
I don't think so.
You don't think they have the defense?
No, they do have the defense for sure. I don't think so in Carey Price getting back.
Well, we'll see. Jake Allen's been good behind him, so worst case scenario.
I think if you start starting Jake Allen,
they win games,
which they're not going to, because although you can ask our resident Habs fan, Jack, he hates him, but I'm not so sure that the rest of the city does.
But Jack, if you're still here, tell us how great Jake Allen is in the chat, please and thank you.
Tell us your thoughts on Carey Price.
Yes, we'll get input from Jack possibly. I don't know, but I think the Habs are good enough. And trust me, we'll talk more about the Habs.
They're streaky. They've been streaky the last few years. They'll inevitably put something together, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. I think those top 4 teams have enough to either hang on or build on what they have.
Yeah, you know what? And I'll look at it from I was on that same boat as you before the season started. I said this is a division built against the Habs. Mm-hmm. Because the Habs are a team that win low-scoring battles, and this isn't a division who scores goals.
57 goals in 17 games for the Habs is pretty good.
That was, because I didn't expect their offense to be good. And then Tyler Toffoli came out of nowhere and said, I'm going to score every goal of mine against the Canucks. And that all changed.
Despite Jim Benning.
Yeah. Okay, go on. Who's your number 3?
Number 3, I will put Calgary, because there's no way I can justify them going much higher. They're 500 right now.
Yeah.
And the fact that they've had this disastrous of a beginning of a season, and they're 500, and they have 19 points in 19 games. You get Tkachuk going. Maybe they do fire Jeff Ward. I mean...
I think if they fire Ward, there's a chance of that your prediction.
And Jacob Markstrom is still... He's a great goalie, and he's going to play up to that contract
Markstrom could carry them in.
I could see him carrying them into the playoffs and past the Oilers, who are inevitably going to go on a terrible losing streak, just like another team that's coming up on my list.
Well, my number 3 is the Winnipeg Jets.
Okay. It's a sensible spot.
I still firmly believe they lost the Dubois trade. Mm-hmm. I think Laine's a better player than Dubois, and Roslovic...
I do too!
And Roslovic went to Columbus and said, I might be a better player than Dubois as well. So...
I think... It shows you everything about that guy when he stopped trying in that game against Tampa.
Yes.
A team that Columbus, you kind of build a rivalry again after that playoff series. A team that everyone's like, oh, this is Columbus-Tampa. Isn't this funny? This is a great rematch.
Yeah.
And you go out there and you play 2 minutes of the most half-assed, garbage, hockey of all time.
Of his life, yeah, no doubt.
And I just, I lost a lot of respect, especially after that playoff series he had against the Leafs where he was a beast.
Pierre-Luc Dubois.
And you see, I'm going to leave. I'm not going to try. You can't sit me from games. I'm still going to be in the lineup, but I'm just going to
But I'm not going to play until I'm out. And
a house leaguer.
Granted, he finally did make an impact. He finally did make an impact for Winnipeg.
That game against Canucks, first 2 goals.
He got 3 points. Do I think
Why has he played like 1 game this season?
He's played 3. He's played 3 for the Jets, but he played 7 for Columbus, I believe.
It's just so unfortunate. He quarantined after the trade for like a week longer than Laine. Comes back to play like 9 minutes, gets injured.
Oh, but the thing Yeah, go on.
And then after the injury, he's got like...
He got the 1 game and he got 3 points.
The 1 game.
Yeah.
2 points.
But
the
thing with Laine, though, is that Laine didn't have to quarantine going to the States. The holdup was his work visa.
He didn't have to quarantine? Was he just chilling in the States? Or?
He had to go to Ottawa to get his work visa. So that was all. We're going to excuse Alex for a second, who has to deal with something real quick, very professionally. And now he's back.
My mom, very professional.
Shout outs to Alex's mom.
Yep. Yeah. I hope for Winnipeg's sake, because I do like to see some success out in the Peg.
Oh, but I think the roster is good enough.
For Jesse Pollock's sake, that PLD turns it up.
Yeah, forget about Dubois, though. I think the roster, their offense is insane. Scheifele, Wheeler,
insane. I don't know if I'd say insane. In this division, it's deep, but I think I'm thinking of X Factor players.
I think their offense.
You think of like Toronto. You have
of course.
Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Tavares. If any of those 4 guys can turn it up, you have a game. Edmonton, Leon and Connor are about as good as those 4 guys, and you have Yamamoto. You've the Nuge, right? Montreal.
Yessi, Pugliarvi.
Gallagher. Pugliarvi's, he's been going off recently.
He is playing on McDavid's line, though. Let's remember that.
Sorry. Gallagher, Toffoli, Suzuki on a tear, and
Anderson.
Just deep.
For the
and
Habs,
Josh Anderson.
Yeah.
And these guys are all like leading the league in goals.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing.
So they're deep, but I don't know.
I look at Winnipeg.
Scheifele maybe, but Wheeler's too old.
I'll give you that.
He can't carry that load.
But I'll give it to Winnipeg. I think their offense is deep enough. Their defense might be awful, but they got Connor Hellebuck in net.
I don't know how awful that defense is. 49 goals against.
They've been better.
18 games is good for second best in the division.
Oh, okay.
Hellebuck probably has a lot to do with that.
He does, and I think it is better this year than it was last year. I think Derek Forbert coming in, has been a strong depth addition, and the emergence of Logan Stanley, who's freaking CN Tower height tall.
Yeah, I thought that guy was like a forward, and then I was like, this guy's a defenseman, and I looked him up. He's like 6'11".
Zdeno Chara too.
Why is he not playing basketball?
Yeah. Okay, but
makes
go on.
So much more money over there.
Who's your number 2? Because we are spending a long time on these.
We are spending quite a bit of time.
So go on your number 2. Well, actually, do your 2 and 1. Do your 2 and 1, and we'll discuss everything at once.
Okay.
2 and 1.
Number 2, Winnipeg, and number 1, Toronto.
My number 2 is Edmonton, and my number 1 is Toronto.
All right.
As
Winnipeg
much as
at 2?
We just talked about Winnipeg, so I don't think we need to. I get why you have them at 2.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But so for me, Edmonton, where I contrast your beliefs that just McDavid and Draisaitl isn't enough, I say McDavid and Draisaitl is more than enough for them to get to where they need to be, especially when McDavid sees Auston Matthews go score 4 points and said, okay, I'll take 5 of my own.
Yep, and I love that game they played against each other too, which was kind of the inverse of that. McDavid walks the walking pylon, Jake Muzzin there, and
well, he's out
the
now,
next shift, Matthews does a highlight play of his own. Muzzin's out?
Yeah, he's out indefinitely. He broke a bone in his face or something.
What the frick? Okay, well, that's great news to learn right now.
That's a discussion for later time. But, okay, well, I guess we can talk about Toronto now, because that's the only thing we haven't.
Because now we're going to discuss the decor without Jake Muzzin, and why I'm not that worried, because
we'll ignore the Toronto decor. They're better than they were. They're still not great, in my opinion. Whatever.
Riley Brody has stopped being
Can I say this? Will I get flack for saying this? Brody was not a good signing.
Brody was a good signing.
Okay, well, there's my flack for saying that.
There's
wait. Well, let me. Can I change the words? Brody was not a good signing at that price point.
Still wrong.
Still wrong. Okay.
I
haven't watched a ton of Leafs.
It's only a 4-year contract. He's going to be early to mid 30s, I think. Let's look it up.
I don't know his age.
Guy's 30. He'll be 34 at the end of it.
Oh, wait. Before you continue, Lizzie says everyone subscribe, and I agree with this statement. Everyone should subscribe.
I agree with that statement, too.
Thank you very much.
I've had a lot of fun doing this.
Everyone subscribe. Yes, okay.
So unless Diego pisses me off in the next...
Oh, we'll get there. We will get there.
We might get there.
I'm going to piss you off
he's already
before
trying to
this
press some buttons right now.
Actually, you know what? Okay. I'll let you go on your rave about Austin Matthews, and then we'll get into playoff stuff because we've been going on for a while.
We have.
So rave about Austin Matthews.
That guy's a beauty. That guy is my Hart Trophy winner right now, and that guy's getting 50 and 50 this year.
Someone forgot that Connor McDavid and Patrick Kane exist, but okay.
The thing is, with Patrick Kane, the Hawks suck. And
the Hawks suck, so if they make the playoffs, Kane's a Hart Trophy
second last. I have an issue with the Hart Trophy, and this is what I was talking about, how the Steve Dangle podcast
the wording with the Hart Trophy
our episode. The Hart Trophy sucks. It should be like the NBA's MVP trophy.
Okay.
The best player in the league.
What people don't understand here is that there is an MVP trophy, and it is the Ted Lindsay.
It's voted by the players.
The Ted Lindsay is the MVP.
It's not even nearly as it's one thing for your peers, the guys you play against, to be like, yeah, this guy's hard to play against. Yeah, because he burned you. But it's another thing for the guys who can't really watch all the games, who can't play against you and really understand what that's like to be like, this guy is the impact. Like, they see that through your play through the freaking screen.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Okay, well, before we get too out of hand, I let you say Austin Matthews is the GOAT enough times without disputing it. And I will leave you like that. I will leave you like that. I will not dispute it. I'll just sit back here.
Because you can't dispute it, because he's having a beauty season, and buddy,
I'll sit back.
If you want to be on the pod,
okay,
anytime, Austin Matthews.
He is a top 3 professional ice hockey player in the league right now.
Yes, he is. I'm glad someone finally agrees with me. David McKinnon Matthews.
Okay, people are gonna hate me for saying this, but it actually goes McDavid Matthews McKinnon.
No way.
But anyway, before I start praising Austin
Matthews,
Matthews,
based off this season,
I dislike saying this, so I'm gonna stop saying this.
Okay.
Who wins the North Division in the playoffs for you?
Okay, my North Division playoff winner is the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm a Leaf fan. I know. It's just I know I've cried enough. I have.
You have cried enough.
I have cried enough. Last year, I ran out of tears against Columbus, actually. So as much as I tried, nothing came out. Right? That could be taken weirdly out of context. Whatever.
Yeah.
We're going to. It's just this team is different. Can
I tell you why the Leafs aren't going to win the North Division?
Tell me why.
Because Frederik Andersen's played 16 games already this year.
Okay. Here's the thing. Campbell died.
Campbell did die.
I love Scoopy.
Campbell did die.
He is good enough to make it a 1A, 1B in Toronto. He's at least on the level. I think he's better than.
Oh, yeah. I agree completely. Frederik Andersen is so inconsistent. He can be the worst goalie in the NHL one night, and he can be the best goalie in the NHL the next night.
But the thing is,
it doesn't work in the
if you average that out, he's the most middle goalie ever. That's great.
This is true. I mean, and the fact he's already played 16 games, he's going to be tired by playoffs. This happens every year to the Leafs. They overplay Andersen.
Which is the thing. Jack Campbell is back in, I think I read, by the end of the week or in the next 2 weeks.
Well, I just hope Keith
Freddie
actually
can
plays
start sitting.
I just hope Keith actually plays him, which I don't believe he will.
But
we'll see.
I think you do, because the thing that I was talking about before, how the Leafs play different in front of Hutch, and why I was so scared in that game against Ottawa, other than the fact that 20 guys wearing Maple Leaf sweaters took the ice against the Senators, is that they play different in front of Hutch. I've heard this from a lot of people. I've heard from Steve Dangle himself.
Oh wow, very credible source.
The GOAT of Leaf Talk. They play different in front of him. He's not the same guy.
Okay.
It's not the same team in front of Hutch because they're all scared. They grip their sticks real tight and they focus on clamping down on defense. And it doesn't let the high flying offense.
And that doesn't work for Toronto. That's sure that is not a style.
Guy.
That's not a style for Toronto.
Yeah, that's why those 2 goals with the Habs in 4 seconds happened.
Yeah,
because Toronto plays loose and fast in front of Frederik Andersen, and they do that in front of Jack Campbell.
There's another point for me. I don't think that's a playoff winning style.
You might not think,
but okay, we'll see.
But
they could.
That's how the Leafs play.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
and the thing is, with a team as talented as that one, that has basically perfected that style of play, I don't see how anybody can reasonably stop it. If you get a hot goalie, and I'm thinking Connor Hellebuck, because Winnipeg is my number 2 to win the North Division.
Okay, my last thing. All right, I'm going to present who I have winning the North, and I'm going to tell you why you can prevent that play style. Because my team winning the North is the Montreal Canadiens.
What?
Yep. Because that play style of the Leafs. For me. Yeah, I know you're not going to be happy about that. And now this is going to go for an extra 20 minutes probably because of that. But I think that Leafs' loose play style is not sustainable in the playoffs because I think teams will learn to adapt to them, play hard on them, and wear them out. And I think Montreal is a key example.
Yes. Montreal did that one night, and the Leafs were hanging on to it. Yeah. Bang, bang, and it's over.
I think
Montreal. That's when the Leafs aren't clicking, and you've got to think.
I think Montreal can wear them down. I think Montreal can wear them down in a 7-game
figures out how to iron that out before the playoffs, how to grow some. Because remember, they're missing Wayne Simmons now, and he's going to be back for the playoffs.
That is true, but
as much as you hate to admit that the team needs a babysitter, the team needs a babysitter, and Wayne Simmons is the type of guy.
Oh, I love Wayne Simmons.
That is going to rally the troops.
He's my favorite Maple Leaf.
Yes.
I'm saying he's my favorite Maple Leaf.
Undoubtedly, for anybody who doesn't like the Maple Leafs, you probably love Wayne Simmons still.
Yeah. My thing with that though is what did Burke call them in the playoffs? The Habs 3 defensemen, the Trident, was it?
I don't listen to a whole lot of Berkey.
I think we had Weber, Sherratt, and Petrie. That is a solid top 3 defense. And behind them, they have good people too. I think they can prevent enough goals from this Leafs team, and I think their offense plays physical enough and a well-rounded enough game. I don't think so,
because I think the defense.
I think they can.
That defense is probably good enough, but Carey Price is leaky.
Okay,
I don't know
how playoff Carey Price
is going to be anymore.
Price. I need to pull up Carey Price playoff stats.
Playoff C, yes, I know Carey Price, but the thing is, I don't. The Habs team. The Habs team now is better than they were last year in the bubble.
Yeah.
This Leaf team is better than any Leaf team, I think, since this is probably the best Leaf team ever.
Okay,
to be honest.
Can I
outside of the original 6 era, this is the best Leaf team ever.
Okay, there's some merit to that.
I don't think you can count them out on they can't score enough goals because
I'm just saying.
They can't.
I'm just saying.
And they will. We can and we will.
You can score enough goals, yet in the most important game of the season last year.
They got shut out.
Okay, well, don't linger on that. We won't linger on that.
That's different.
I did pull up.
They didn't have Wayne Simmons.
Okay, fine. But I did pull up Carey Price's playoff stats.
Okay.
He has a career .917 save percentage in the playoffs. But most recent, in last year's playoffs, he had .936 save percentage with a 1.78 goals against average. And his most recent playoff before that, being 2016-17, .933 save
Rangers,
percentage.
Right?
I believe so. .933 save percentage, 1.86 goals against average. Those are incredible stats.
How many of those ended in a cup final appearance?
None, because the Habs weren't.
Because the Habs.
I don't think the Habs are making the cup final this year either. I just think they're winning the North.
I think that Toronto has to. I think there has to be something on their shoulders because if you don't win this North Division, something has to be. You have to
gone.
blow it up.
Anderson's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Free agents are going to leave, and you have to start trading guys and building it up from the ground. Base it around Matthews and Marner.
Not from the ground. I think you're just trading offensive depth for goaltending and defense.
Make Soupy the number one goalie. This is the year. This is your time to make that conference final. This is
the year.
No, I'm not saying this is the year. This more than likely will not be. But anything less than a conference final berth is a utter failure, utter embarrassing failure
for the Leafs. Okay, I can see that. I didn't like how Keefe managed the bench in the series against Columbus. If I'm being honest with you,
I think that Keefe's coaching style is kind of really stupid sometimes.
I agree with that 100%.
I'm very glad that he's putting Matthews and Marner together again. Actually, I think it was dumb as hell to break them up and for that one game again. I know it's Ottawa and you want to get Tavares and Nylander going.
Yeah.
Those guys, Nylander's making $7 million. Tavares is making $11 million and he's captain.
Yes, I know they're all overpaid.
It's on you. Do something about it. Stop moping on the bench. Oh, I can't score goals. Look at Austin. He's doing so good. You do something about that. They have to get something going on.
We'll see how it pans out. But with that, I think we've discussed. Do you have anything else last minute you want to throw out there?
Any last minute things? Yes, I do actually. I would like to talk about that Pierre-Luc Dubois overtime winning goal. I watched the highlight, and I thought that was.
I did not see the goal.
Terrible. I think that
against the Canucks. Like, what do you expect?
I'm aware, but I forget who was defending that. I think it was Jordy Ben.
Well, there's not a lot of good defensive options on that Canucks team.
The move was just incredible in how terrible it was.
Well, okay.
And you got to think that Dubois was like, oh shit, how did that work?
Incredible, awful goals. Did you see the Dvorak shootout goal from last night?
I did not.
You need to watch it after this.
Okay.
John Gibson goes for the poke check and goes the complete wrong way with the poke check, and Dvorak just puts it into the empty net. And I've seen it reposted by like 5 different NHL accounts today talking about what a move by Dvorak when it's literally just Gibson missing
a move.
He literally just misses the poke.
John Gibson, the number 1 best goaltender in the league, right?
Oh, Diego? I dropped him in fantasy. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
But those are my dark ages. Gibson's the best goalie.
If he played on a better team,
then maybe. Hey,
maybe.
Trevor Zegras played last night.
Trevor Zegras, everybody super hyped because this guy had one good World Junior. I think going to be mediocre.
Yep. All right.
Prove me wrong.
All right, is that our last take for the day?
I think that is our last take.
Well, thank you for everyone who came out to watch. We'll be back maybe this Sunday. We'll see. Well, we'll think about it. Well, more than likely. Well, we'll see. We'll be back eventually. Thanks for watching, and as always, if you liked it, we're going to shill now. Make sure to like the video and subscribe for more, always. As you can tell, I've been preparing my YouTuber voice.
Of course. Diego, it's another never saga for some internet fame for him, and it would really help him out. I had a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah, if you want to...
I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching.
If you want to check me out on social media, you can see me at Twitter at @DiegoPet_. On Instagram at dp.studios_. And where can we find you, Alex, do you want them finding you? Just the Instagram at alex.ranny. You guys can follow up if you want for some banger pics. I'll maybe put that in a description later on. Not for this video's description. I'm too lazy for that. Of course not. But with that, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Goodbye. Thank all of our sincerely. Thank you all. Goodbye.